Kana coming to town? Honky?
I asked early, Dracos.
You asked early,
I wrote it on my list.
Boy, Kobe.
I sent it up to Santa, and we get it. Yes.
Heavy debate. They opt for, I think Ezreal's kind of the, the safe choice. Obviously, just helps you get away, but instead opting for the Lucian alongside the Braum can be a lethal duo.
Yeah, I love the mobility. When you're facing this AL squad here, mobility looks very good to get away from Leona, Ori, and Mbessa engages. So
of course, Honky, I guess, leveraging what's strong in the patch. Probably already was happy to do so, but a good indicator that you're playing the right stuff is if you see it nerfed on the next patch. Honky forced to use the Shroud here as Shanks doing his best to stay at arm's length, but okay, does get the cannon. Honky lower, wants a cannon of his own. Is he willing to risk his life for it? The answer is no. -1. Often with the Ziggs, you can take control of the lane early on, but Braum is just so good into these melee options. It makes it hard for Kyle to do much, and Junja to commit to the dive, moves in, after charge doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. 3 markup, that's 4 on the concussive blows. Kaiwing now moving out. Tower angle flawlessly traded. No one nearby to punish. Ready with the wind becomes lightning. Shanks level 6, so is Honku. 800, Smite gonna finish it. Kyle wants to keep the fight going. Junja isolated off to the side, but it's Honku immediately diving in on top of Tarzan, trying to stop any fall. But now it's a 3v2 in the river. Honku absorbing so much pressure, likely gonna cost him his life, but he manages to take one with him. CFO grabbed the objective, likely to take down Kyle as well. 1-for-1 trade thus far on top of the Drake. Flandra doesn't hit the ult! It's so close, pixels away. Kaiwing, they managed to go right back in. Kyle holding on for an extra second. Feet of warfare there. Kaiwing right in the back of the pit. He's a dead man walking, doesn't have a flash. They're gonna take a bit more time and clean him up, but my God, what a start to game 2. Finish the first. Rest ready to contest. Doggo waiting off to the side. Coling up and available. That's Junja coming down from the stars. Tarzan isolated face versus Rest. It's going to be a tough fight, but in comes the public execution on the backside. Down goes Rest. Kyle going to take the kill. Another one going to fall as Kaiwing gets taken out. Honky versus Shanks in the bottom lane, but it might not matter. Tarzan's running for his life. Junja ready to finish that one off. Doggo gets it with a piercing light. Honky will escape in the bot lane 1v1.
Flandra's out of energy, and Pantheon is walking bottom at the moment.
Doggo. Pursued out. Flash away from the wind becomes lightning. Good that AL get that cooldown. Now they can shift their attention topside. They see the TP coming in. Want to punish Honku. Honku, though, knows that Shanks has no ultimate. There's not a lot of damage here quite yet. Also, Ziggs ult was used in the mid lane, but with 4 people on the way,
no Shroud.
Go in. Knows that he has to commit at least a little bit to get away. Wave being held. Instantaneous knockup. Nice back-up coming in from Honku. Redemption coming in. Healing there. They'll finally cut him down. In the meantime, a push back in the mid lane for CFO, but well played by AL.
Okay, Pantheon has ulti, so Kaiwing's trying to make time right now. They could Pantheon ulti up with the dolly.
Push in. So they want to keep playing the fight. Kyle so low. Just barely able to escape the spear. The extra damage might have finished the job. Not wanting to risk, I think, the full-on 5v5 without the setup, respecting Shanks on this Orianna, respecting the AoE damage that can come through. So instead, prioritizing the side lanes, giving up mid lane in exchange for top lane. Will they concede the Drake?
Oh, he's teleporting. Here we go.
They do want the full fist fight. Kaiwing kicking things off, already exhausted. Off on the backside, it's Rez who's getting deleted, but he manages to go golden for a brief moment. Honku trying to immediately follow up. Tarzan isolated. Follow-up is there, but the ulti's keeping him safe. Honku immediately into the midst of the entire team as Flandra is forced back for a brief moment. Junja flashing in. Shockwave yanking him right back as Honku continues to live, but it's hope on the backside. Honku alive once again. Flandra re-engaging. The shield keeping him standing. Flandra in the midst of the entire team. He manages to make it work.
What a fight! AL clutch it out there. They're going to get the dragon on top of all of the extra kills.
Both sides knowing how crucial this Otacon is. That's the ulti coming in for Junja. Sees them in the pinch. Wants to go in. Tarzan using an ulti, but on an immediate shutdown. Honku trying to find his way onto Hope to make sure that no more damage can follow up. Flash forward, stun from Kyle, and they take down Honku. 4-man stack from CFO, though, still standing, still strong. 2 down. Okay. Is immediately going to TP back to the fight. They need to be careful, though. Their resistances are getting shredded. Hope is going to hit like a truck. They're trying to zone Kaiwing out of the fight for a brief moment.
Burn it.
4K.
The patience. They let the patience.
Getting lower. Alden coming in from Flandre. Immediately takes down 1. TP coming in the meantime for the rest of AL. Flandre flashing back to get away from Doggo. Wants to turn the fight back. Doesn't have the shield up in time as Doggo gets one back in return. AL holding the bottom lane. Standing strong. They will not concede the Herald. The patience starting to run thin. And it looks like we're going to have to go one more time because Otacon's not out of this one yet.
Otacon has no patience for these teams. Set up for
one
this.
more time. Junja ulting again. Rinse and repeat. We've seen this one before, but this time it's Hope who's been isolated. Hope trying to flash away, Rest off to the side. Hope blocked out the satchel, not nearly enough to keep him standing. That's the ulti from the Ziggs. Not having a whole hell of a lot of effect. Honku ready to retreat if need be, but Tarzan knows that he needs to follow. Equalizer to split the fight. They don't have tri-bush control. CFO, it's not a great angle to start. Rest is incredibly low, but they do have the man advantage. Instead, the Drake now set in their sights. Shanks moving in. Level 15 on the Orianna. The shockwave will hurt, but CFO refused to group. Doggo waiting over the wall, calling to split the fight. Need to keep Tarzan away. 2K getting lower. Tarzan steals it, but Honku uses the Mega Blast Cone to get in. Instantly, he's suppressed by Flandra, denying the engage back in return. But AL get what they came for. They take the Drake.
Tarzan is a beast! He's able to get the Drake. They started up the Otacon again. I don't think they should. Well, they're going to continue doing it. Are teleports ready? No. Teleports are not ready for the Akali or for Rest. So AL, they're going to force it.
Goes out from Kaiwing. Junja wants to try to find a way in, but AL have control of the tri-bush. That's Doggo, caught out, able to flash out to safety. AL continuing to chip away at these summoner spells, but their focus isn't on the objective. Junja gonna walk forward too. They're risking so much just to attempt to steal. Finding kills back now, he's knocked up, he's taken down. Tarzan grabs another. Patience resetting on Otacon. Rest about to fall, holding onto his life. Surely, AL get the objective.
Good focus from AL to go for kills and not over tunnel on the Otacon. Tarzan constantly looking for anyone stepping up from the side of CFO. They get the kill onto Junja, and they will finally, Dracos, get the Otacon. He didn't have teleport, so they knew they had the extra advantage. They set up again on the Otacon, eventually fish around.
Honku! Sure can flip back in. Tarzan wants to keep going. Honku laying down a bit more damage. Dash out with the perfect execution. Ulti coming in from Hope.
And even with this tower going down, they're still slightly behind in gold.
Doggo chasing, poke damage onto Kyle. Let's be careful not to overcommit here,
ult?
but Junja might just be on the way, and he is! It's the Pantheon! Right to the back line, Aegis assault to block, and he fall off damage. Decent equalizer to kick things off, but Tarzan is relatively untouched. Honku in the midst, the team almost immediately gets taken down. Ulti for Flandra! So many low health bars! Flandra, Tarzan, and Shanks tear through CFO!
AL are gonna get that Baron. I don't think there's anything Junja can do about it. Under fire as well. The Dragon is on the table, so after inhibitor, they're gonna go towards bottom side, take down that turret.
And there's not a lot of counterplay from CFO outside of forcing an engage, but it's AL who will force it first. Tarzan getting us kicked off, immediate knockup. Down goes Rest. CFO gonna retreat, holding line for now, but again, AL have more range, better siege tool, more threat. CFO can only force a fight. It's their only recourse against the push, against the pressure that AL are putting down. Junja gonna kick things off. Wander still has the GA. Aegis assault to keep him standing for now. Will retreat. Ball pulled back. Honku tries to get a little bit more space. Dash back, but he still gets clipped. Doggo now running. Wind becomes lightning as he's caught out. Forced back into the fountain as AL determined to take us to game 3. Beautiful team fighting across the board. Honku shut down and denied time and time again.
The shockwave pulls him back in at the end for another kill onto Honku. Wow, what a series we've got today, Dracos.
I'm glad to see it.